Hey folks, I have this transformer here. It's a single phase but a very high voltage input. So it's really no good for what I need it for unless I can make it, the input, an acceptable voltage to have a desired output voltage. So what I'm going to do, and what anybody could do if they had such a transformer, is work slowly and patiently at removing some of the windings to reduce the amount of wraps to get the desired input voltage. It's time consuming for sure. It's a matter of breaking apart individually, cutting, separating until you remove enough of the windings that the desired voltage input is there to have the recommended desirable output voltage, which would be here. What I'm aiming for is input to be 120 volts, output to be 44 volts. Right now, the way I use it, if I would have left it the way it was, with everything intact, and input voltage being 120 volts, my output voltage was only 8 volts. Not high enough. So this is the way that I'm going about it to get my desired output voltage, by changing the wraps so my input voltage is going to be more acceptable to give me a higher output voltage. Transformers are all based on how many wraps of wire are on them. And by removing or adding, it will change the perimeters of that output voltage from the secondary. So I'm going to continue, and I'll come back to you periodically showing you how it's coming along. It's not an easy task, and it's very time consuming, but it's definitely manageable. Okay, well, I removed 160 turns so far. Here's all the pieces that were removed, which equals 160 turns. So let's see what kind of voltage we have now with 160 turns removed. You can see the voltmeter here. I'm just going to give this a little touch here. You hear the tiny little hum to it. Oh, first I have to turn this on. There we go. I'm going to be reading it upside down, but you'll get the idea. 16 volts. My aim is over 40 volts, so I have a lot more turns yet to go. I couldn't even guess how many. 50 more, 60 more, 100 more, don't really know. I'll be back with you and give you some updates. Alright, I moved another 40 turns. Now let's check the voltage. You see the voltmeter there? .23 volts. 23 volts. So that's 7 volts for 40 turns. So I need to do another whole row and a half, roughly, to get the voltage I'm looking for. You'll see as I proceed ahead, unwrapping it. A very time-consuming job. It's not so bad now that I have a lot of the... I have some space in between here. But to get that space, I'll tell you, it was very time-consuming and very difficult. And you can see so far, again, probably 5-10 pounds of copper here, roughly, maybe 6. So I'll keep unraveling another whole entire row and test the voltage out to that point. Well, 7 volts, that'll give me about 30 volts. And another whole row. Yeah, I have a ways to go yet. Alright, I believe I have achieved my voltage. I'll show you here the voltage. I'll just hook it up right here. I wanted 43.2. So I'm a little bit over. That's okay though. You see, and I lost count of how many turns I actually removed completely in total. It's really unimportant. The whole theory is to keep going until you're at your desired voltage. And that's what I have here. I'm at my desired voltage. Now I can tell you, it was a process and a half. Removing all these windings, these wraps, these turns. Because this is all shellacked together. They're not really loose. But with some hours, I'm thinking it took me maybe in total 5-6 hours to get to the point I'm at now, which is not really any point at all. I still have a lot left to do for what I'm doing with this transformer. I have a long way to go yet, but I wanted to show everybody that taking a high voltage transformer and making it work, the input high voltage, it can be changed just by simply unwrapping some of the wraps. Alright folks, well thank you for watching. Subscribe if you have not, and thank you very much for those that already have.